Conclave from the beginning. He was the architect of the first 6 editions of the Conclave. We pay tribute to him in this 8th National Media Conclave. NMC has taken this initiative to honor his legacy by organizing this second memorial lecture in memory of Professor Sunil Kant Behra. To deliver this memorial lecture, we are privileged to have Professor Baldev Raj Gupta, who was the guru of our guru. He was the teacher of Professor Sunil Kant Behra. So please give a big hand and welcome Professor Baldev Raj Gupta, sir, who is member Press Council of India. He was former professor and head of the department in Banaras Hindu University in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And he is the editorial advisor of Dainik Bhaskar Group of newspapers. He is the group editor of EMS Express Media Group, Madhya Pradesh. Sir, I welcome you and accept our pranam as Guru of the Guru. Today's topic is Media Education, Changing Scenario and AI Era. I request Professor Gupta to deliver on the topic. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Nag. Friends, it is a second memorial lecture in the memory of Sunil Kant Behra. In our own tradition, I belong to one of the ancient and traditional city of India, Benares, where it is not considered to be a very good thing if a father go in the funeral of his son or his disciple. That's considered to be a very bad, is an unlucky man who go to the funeral of his own son. Sunil Kant Behra was my student, and I remember his face yet when he came to me, and immediately when he saw me and he threw his cigarette like that. I remember. Hey, my Sunil, kya? Oh, bola sir, nahi, like that. But he is a chain smoker. I remember the face. When Sunil Kant Behra was introduced to me when I came here, Chintamani Mahapatra, who was a good friend of mine. I came here in 1975, Behrampur University. That was the period of emergency or something like that. So, a memorial lecture for a student or for a son, it is not a good thing, considered to be a good thing in our tradition, particularly in the Hindu tradition. But it is a privilege, the boy, the Sunil Kant Behra, did a lot for the journalism education. He has contributed to a lot of things. He actually, we have a rin say the debt you have taken, the guru debt, father debt, country's debt. So he has, usko urin kar deta hai. Mean he has no debt. Because whatever he learned, he returned to the society back. So, I just read the copy of lecture is with you. Because a weeping alone is not good. Remembering his own people is a different idea you will get. We are sitting few people related to journalism education here, and I have to read our own story, how this journalism education started. So I'm just reading, and that will not be a very soothing things and very attractive and interesting things, because we have discussed man, machine, and medha. Medha, we say the intelligence in Sanskrit. We have discussed from the morning till up to 5 p.m. what is medha, what is man, and what is machine. So machine, medha, and man's, this is a story we have discussed from the we have spent about 6, 7, 8 hours to discussing AI and this and that. Now we are discussing our own story. This is our own story. So just I have to read if you say, otherwise the lecture is with you. I have had the privilege of teaching Professor Sunil Kant Behra, a lovable personality, a helping nature person, and a popular media teacher in this country. He did his Master of Journalism from Banaras Hindu University several years ago. At that time, media education was dominated by print media, though television, radio, and PR were achieved an important place in the university education at that time. Site. I remember that thing. Site, you might be knowing everybody. S-I-T-E, site. Site was the talk of the town. During those days, development journalism was considered during the 70s as important as the artificial intelligence today. If you go look back, the ancient scribes often wrote, collect information, news, etc., and transmit them. But this type of transmission was highly unreliable and died out after the invention of the printing press. That was the old type of how they have, if you've seen even in India, during Aurangzeb type, the first time they have started, Wakia Navi is a person who wrote the events. And he sent to the king at that time. That is called the Wakia Navis. Wakia means event. And the Navis means collecting the information and making a story and send the story to the Qazi, and Qazi will send to the king, like that system. So same was in the Europe also. They are collecting. When the printing press came, I am just quoting Dr. Nadi Krishnamurthy, the man who wrote the Indian journalism history. I met him, we discussed in detail many times, that author of the history of the Indian journalism, he was working with the earlier Span magazine. He left that and joined as a teacher journalism in Mysore University. So anyway, and this were the primary medium of the journalism from the 18th century was the print media, radio and television. Now it is in 20th century. Now the internet and the present type, this we are discussing AI or the artificial intelligence, which revolutionize the whole world, not only the media. The story of the movable type is remarkable. A type, a dead thing can create revolution, yes. Movable type, invented by the Gutenberg and every story. You are the teacher of journalism, you know all these things. How it's changed. If you go the history of England, because I was a student of the history also, then when the movable type came, immediately the king, the father, the church chief of the Rome church, he was afraid of all these things. Coming to the movable type, because the Bible was in Hebrew, not in English. So he was worried if anybody will translate it and the Bible will be available to everyone, then it will be a problem. Same happened here in Benares. When Tulsidas was writing the Ramcharitmanas in the language of the common man, most of the Brahmins of that time in Benares, they came, threat the Tulsidas, you are writing all these things, who will call us? Because we will go and make a Akhand Ramayana part in the many houses and we get the money. You are going to stop all these things? If you will, everybody will go and read it. Because you are writing in the language of the common man. Writing in the common man language is the issue. Writing in English, English was a common man language or German. But Hebrew was a different. Only the Padri can translate and tell the things. That was the issue when movable type came. And there was if you see the old record, you will find out that immediately the king given an order, nobody will read, write, or publish a book or anything like that. That was banned in England. This is a unique story. And how it was created a problem in England, that is a different story. But I tell you, this thing, the enterprise of the printing machine adopted the name, the new medium of expression and communication that is called the press. The press word is still having its weight. When I purchased a vehicle, immediately I was at that time the editor in Bhaskar group. So immediately painter came, sir, is pe press likha lo. Write a press on this. So it is a privilege. Putting a name press, nobody will stop you. Press is an important issue. There was a tussle in the press council a few days back. The electronic media versus print media. So the judge was the chairman, or the judge, Supreme Court judge is the chairman. So we're not a neck-to-neck fight with me. So I said, why they are demanding a press card? They are working in electronic media, they are the person in the TV. Why are they asking to give me the press card? What it means, press card means what? If you have the press card, you get the entry, you enter in any building, you go in the parliament here and there in Shastri Bhavan like this. So the press card is important. Press card means the man who is dealing with anything related to news, that we say the press. Then how can a fake news of the TV, how can they come to the press council for remedy? Because we are not dealing with electronic media. As the judge says, press council is only related to the newspapers. Nothing to do with the broadcast. That's why they're making the bill of broadcast bill, very dangerous bill is coming, again coming. You will find out it will be more difficult. They can put behind the bar anybody. Very dangerous bill is coming now, very soon. So these things are happened there. So this created, print media, the movable type created a revolution. The spread of printing introduced the renaissance in society and altered the social structure, captured the masses in Reformation, which led to threaten to the religious and political power and authorities. They challenged the authorities. Movable type challenged the authorities and kingship, even the religious guru, Pope. This is only the type. Because they have terror, this type will create problem for us. Everything will be available to the common man, masses. And nobody is ready to give knowledge and eradicate the poverty. No king wants that eradication of poverty. No. That is a myth. Reality is different. So like that. So it is a challenge to religious, political power and the authorities. The telephone, then came the mechanical systems entering in journalism. Earlier we are appointing a reporter who has the knowledge of shorthand and typing. If you know the typing and shorthand, immediately we'll give the job to you in reporting department. Little 15 days training, and then you will be appointed. Because you know the shorthand. That shorthand is over, typewriter is gone, teleprinter is gone. Earlier, how the page was made. That's a very unique thing. Letterpress to rotary revolutionized the whole, even our newspaper printing style. Then came the offset. The another revolution. Color printing. Oh, first time I saw, I am still keeping one of the this newspaper front page, Hindu. First time they used the color photograph. Front page, color. Only one photograph is color, then the black and white. And my editor, everybody was saying, yeah, kamal ho gaya. Unique. Color photograph. वो छपा किया Hindu first time. So those were the things. These were a dream for us. A color photograph, unique. So those things are there, and this create a great impact on the mankind. And then cinema and motion pictures. In 1920, the mass communication made the world, and you know the word came, how it came. The word came in 1960, the global village. I had the opportunity to, he took our class, Marshall McLuhan, when he visited India. He came as a guest teacher to us. And Professor I.P. Tiwari, who was at that time the then director of Indian Institute of Mass Communication. So we have the chance to see the man, listen the man, and as a teacher, we have a great respect for that man. So Marshall McLuhan, a Canadian thinker, coined and given the term global village in the year 1960, which indicates the fast production and consumption of the media, images, and contents by the global audience. The term AI and digital age has an implication for forming new socially meaningful structures within the context of present cultures as the publication, newspaper and magazine, messages, news stories, opinions, posts, and video through print and electronic communication. Let us see what the status of the present day media has in the world with specialization, with special reference to India. One answer could be media ecology theory, the study of media technology and communication, its impact on human environment. On the other hand, the state authorities and the governance. This is another issue. Always this issue came because one person was telling me the AI and the freedom in America, AI and some rule regulation in European countries, AI and the Chinese government has a totally control. AI here is a democracy. What type of democracy you have, you know better. I am not commenting on the democracy and not commenting the use of AI in election and use of AI in other, the cell of the political parties. According to the World Association, one answer could be the technology and communication, its impact on human environment, on the other hand, and the state authorities and the governance, the king or the monarch, the dictator or the democrat, which type of rulers we have, country has, that will give you the impact, will give you the feedback, what type of the ruler you have, then in what way the AI will work in that regime. That is a very important issue. The World War I and World War II, you know the role of media during that period. According to the World Association of the Newspaper and News Publishers, the world presently, the recent data of 2023, the total world, we have the important 3 lakhs newspaper per day we are publishing, the number of 3 lakhs in the world. Similarly, the Indian newspaper industry is the largest in the world with more than 148,000, that is a 2023 publication we have. There are 375 24 hours news channel in the world, and we have the 82 in the world in our country. 24 hours channel. 375 in the whole world and 82 are in the India. But there are 388 news and current affairs TV channels registered with the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India, estimated to reach around 93,000 persons are working in the print media and 97.7 is working in the electronic media. This is the manpower is working. This is the present condition status of the media. We have about, you can say about 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs people are working in the media presently in India. To cater the need of the journalism and the media industry is training and formal education are important like other disciplines such as the medical, management and the legal. We have started journalism education in India like a legal system. We have not started like a medical system. The problem is there was a tussle in the start. There was a tussle. I still remembering when we were entering in the newspaper offices, most of the editor was not happy to see us. बोला आप journalism क्या पढ़ाएगा journalism में? Journalists are the born. How can you train them? It's not possible. Can you train a poet? Make a poetry? So they were not happy. They're not accepting us. That problem we have faced in the early period. And that was existing up to 65, 70. Slowly it's changed. If you go the history, most of the person, because I have the opportunity to work in Times of India training school because I spent a few years there also. So some newspaper has started their own courses. They're not happy with the courses started by universities and colleges. So these are the position, how we will have to formal education are important like other discipline. We started like a legal, first you get the legal training and then you go practice with someone, a senior advocate, under him you have to join that company. But in journalism, we train the person and he will go in the newspaper, oh bola isko to kuch nahi aata, hata. Isko story likhna nahi aata, intro malum nahi hai, nahi ho, nahi chal, hata. Nahi aata tha bachon ko. Here even you see, we are here, and one of my friend sitting here, he was saying कि ये बच्चा लोग तो मेहनत नहीं करता, उधर तो देखो आप ही लोग बैठे हैं. There are only teachers are here. I was in mood to actually explain them. उसको मैंने बोला, और because I influenced by the minister. वो minister जो भाषण दिया अभी, क्या था उसका नाम? महालिंग था ना, महालिंग, प्रोफेसर महालिंग. उसका मैंने रिस्पॉन्स देखा, द फेसेस ऑफ द बॉयज, आई गॉन लाइक दिस एंड दे वर लिसनिंग, राइटिंग, बिकॉज ही स्पोक इन द लैंग्वेज ऑफ द लैंड. Either they are not getting, or they are not interested, or they are tired, is a heavy dose, they are not ready to accept it. The problem is, you are in the market, you are sitting over there, everybody will come and see and go. They are not purchasing your things. And you remember, there was even a beggar is sitting She was blind lady, and one gentleman came, he took the board. She's putting, I am blind, please help me. So that man has came, the power of the words I am telling you. He changed the board. उसमें लिखा उसने कि अभी बसंत का महीना है, मैं तो फूल देख नहीं सकती हूँ, आप फूल देख सकते हैं, ईश्वर आपका भला करे, बस आप फूल देख सकते हैं, आप खुशी देख सकते हैं, आप रोशनी देख सकते हैं, मैं नहीं देख सकती हूँ. वो चेंज द बोर्ड, द लैंग्वेज इज चेंज, एंड इमीडिएटली जो भी आता उसको पैसा देता था, बिकॉज ऑफ द पावर ऑफ द वर्ड्स. अर्लियर पहले लिखा, मैं अंधी हूं, मेरी मदद कीजिए, आई एम ब्लाइंड, प्लीज हेल्प मी. बट द मैन केम, ए बॉय वाज, वो उसका बोर्ड उठा कर उसको चेंज करके लैंग्वेज चेंज कर दिया. बोला आप बसंत देख सकते हैं, आप खुशी देख सकते हैं, आप रोशनी देख सकते हैं, मैं इसको कुछ भी नहीं देख सकती हूँ. बस ऐसे करके बैठा है वो. And now the people are starting giving money. So the power of the words are there. So in that way, are you able to give them those things to your student? So the most of the editor was not happy with the journalism courses started in India. To cater the need of the journalism and the media industry, training and formal educations are important. Like other discipline, we took the legal style of teaching journalism, not medical style of journalism. Medical style of journalism means you have to work, you have to go to hospital, then come back, then take the class, then resident एक करेगा, दवाई देगा, और अपना टीचर के साथ जाएगा उधर. Everything was there. Medical system is different, legal system is different. So we adopted the legal style of teaching journalism education, not the medical style of teaching journalism. That is the basic difference. So modern education is always in need. Now it is a, but if we take the medical style of teaching, the impact of the modern education emphasizes the developing student and analytical abilities, life skills, sense of morality, critical thinking, with use of advanced technology to enhance the timely, fast, speedy, and accurate learning experiences. Because it's a profession of time and speed. What is journalism? It's a profession of time and speed. Most of the newspaper you will say have Times of India, London Times, New York Times. Time is a very important, and the speed is another important issue. Bulletin, morning bulletin, this bulletin, that bulletin. It's a speed. Speed plays a very important role. Now there is a fast speed. Who is the newsbreaker? Which channel has started first? Earlier, when we put the story in the news agency, first time the news agency journalism was started in IMC. So say they put the time. And then we have started in the newspaper offices, put the time. A sub-editor copy is given to you. You put the time. 3:30, you have signed, given to the chief sub. Then he will correct and give it to the printer. Oh, udhar bhi time dalo. This system make the speed. Oh, you cannot hold the copy in 2 hours or 1 hour keeping with you. No, that system is gone. So the time factor was there. PTI UNI story, if you find. Or the other news agency was following the same system. So few things, time and speed is a very important in our profession. So keeping in mind the idea of the journalism education was a great human dialogues. I tell you, I forget another things. The developing student analytical. Keeping in mind the idea of journalism education was a great human dialogues. The New York City editor and publisher Joseph Pulitzer, the story, how he started the department, how he has given the money, and there is a detail of all these things. And some editors and some the university professor, they also help the people writing, presenting, protection of the news. Like this, all these things were taught. And how the Professor P.P. Singh started, these are all the details are there in the Then I remember one important, here I want to mention, UNESCO includes UNO Rule 3, mass communication in Chapter 3 of the, one of the its function is later UNO and UNESCO also, they declare that, this is the underline, journalism education, UNO accepted in 50s, journalism education based on a conviction that professional journalistic standards are essential to bring out the potential of media system to foster democracy, dialogue, and accountability. These things was in Chapter 3 of the UNO, they have put this. The Government of India, the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, you know, in 1965, our one of Parthasarathy Sanjay was the director of Indian Institute of Mass Communication, because I was the first batch student of journalism when the first time the course was started for journalism, that was 1969-70. That was the course. And the Government of India, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, 1965 established the Indian Institute of Mass Communication, New Delhi, now to be a deemed university. The then IMB Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi inaugurated it on 17 September 1965 with a small faculty including 2 consultants from the UNESCO. 2 professors from UNESCO, they joined, and there are very small faculty. Kamram Saab was there, a man from the radio, and Madam Sultan came, and I.P. Tiwari, later on he became the PIO of the Government of India. So how they have started? In a rented building in South Extension, so that department was started. And then in the year of 1969 and 70, first time a major international journalism postgraduate diploma in journalism for developing countries, these were related to Afro-Asian countries, was started a first time in India. A course for developing countries. Most of the African Asian countries was there, and they have started the course, and you will be surprised to know no Indian was allowed to take admission in that. How we approach, at that time the minister was changed. Satyanarayana Sinha was the minister, later on Nandini Satpathy became the IMB minister. When we passed out, Nandini Satpathy given the degree to us. And at that time, Satyanarayana Sinha was the IMB minister, a man from Bihar. So how this struggle, even getting admission, there was a struggle. IMC started, but no Indian was allowed. It is only for the Afro-Asian countries. They say Afro-Asian, the Asia mein to hai, India kidhar bahar hai kya? Then anyhow, this minister agreed, bola karo, chalo. The 5 students was admitted from India. And 3 from Ghana. One of my friend who became the later on the and Kurma ka deputy prime minister bhi bana ho. Oh, hamara classmate. So like many people. So how journalism was started by IMC and how IMC was started. So technological advancement, and later on that they established with all the facility of training, 5 center of IMC, 1 in your Orissa, Dhenkanal also they started later on. If we look back to the education and training of journalism 150 years ago, in 1900, you will be surprised, this is underline, up to 1900, there were only 2 books were available in America. Professor Ipan was telling me there was no book. Only 2 books were available about media written, available in America. No books were there about journalism course. 1900, सन 1900 तक 2 किताब मात्र था पूरे अमेरिका जर्नलिज्म पर. Up to 1900, there were only 2 books available for media study in United States. The first Indian attempt was made in the National University, Adyar. I visited Adyar, 1920. they said, started the department, but nothing was available there. I visited that university, gone there, but no trace, nothing was available regarding journalism education. But P.P. Singh, Professor P.P. Singh, who came from America and started the department at Lahore, now in Pakistan. That was Punjab University in 1941. The efforts were made in Aligarh Muslim University. One retired judge of the Allahabad High Court, he was not happy with the legal reporting by the Indian journalists. So he discussed with the Vice Chancellor and they decided to start a course there. But that was not, when the Judge Sahab was died, the course was stopped. Finished. And then, there is one instance, I was told, Bidhan Chand Roy inaugurated 2 years postgraduate diploma course formally in 7th October 1950 under the chairmanship of Chaplakant Bhattacharya, is the renowned editor of Calcutta. They have started in Calcutta University, later on Maharaja College. Adri was there, Dr. Nadi Krishnan Murthy joined there, and Mysore University, and became the head of the department later on. And Nagpur is a contribution, the great contribution. The Hislop College was pioneer to start the well-equipped course in journalism. The department has given many media educators and journalists to the country. In 1952-53, at the Nagpur University, Professor K.E. Ipan was the first Indian scholar to be the head of the department. Professor D. Forrest O. Dell started journalism course in Osmania University, Hyderabad, in the year of 1954. Many universities established the journalism department, like Pune University, 1964, Guwahati, 67, Kolhapur, 1968. 15 other universities also started the department. Like the long list is there in the books available to you. And and the first central university, Benares Hindu University, started the department in 1973. And 74, the Berhampur University of Orissa started. In India, print media was on the peak. Electronic media and radio like television were under the control of the government at that time. Color television created a new era. Newspaper was the trendsetter, but not the TV, but the newspaper was the trendsetter at that time. It's a very important issue. Trendsetter was the newspaper, not the electronic media. And later on, the first time we saw the pager. Pager was used by journalists, and keeping that, we were surprised to know. They can talk to, just like mobile, there was the pager, and they contact the immediately office. 2-3 American professors came in our university as a visitor. They came to the department and they used that first time. Unique thing. We were surprised to see the pager first time. So these were the things. Technology always creates a jadoo, a magic, and this thing happens. I remember one other important landmark, that is the professor. Emergency gone, many things happened. I am not discussing all those things. There was one, UGC was, after spending many years, almost when 50 years almost was there, 41 to 81, they started thinking there must be a status report of journalism education in the country. Professor K.E. Ipan was the chairman of the committee. Professor Thakur, B.S. Thakur from Punjab University, Chandigarh, and Mr. M.R. Dua. They have given the report. And the report was a UGC status report, 1981. That report is called a green color report. 1981 report was submitted under the chairmanship of Professor K.E. Ipan, and they given the whole India's picture about the journalism